everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of the Heart Talk podcast. I am your gracious and thankful host, Brandon Daniels, and I'm here with one of the best co-hosts in the world, my wife,
Tia Daniels.
And also, because we kind of skipped it, but it's okay. This is you have entered into the Heart Talk where we turn hard talks
into Heart Talks.
And so there we go. Yeah, I botched that whole thing, but it's okay because I, came back with it, so we're good. We're straight. We're good.
My husband's a hot mess, y'all. Okay.
I had it before, but
Yeah, we always gotta re-record everything. It's a lot, but anyway, babe. So how was your day?
I guess our day was awesome.
Our day, yes.
Yeah, because we really didn't go. We didn't really separate today, so we was together pretty much all day.
He likes me,
and so we was together all day.
Thanks, thank you.
We just chill for real. Tonight for dinner, Tia made some good stuff.
Well, we both made it. We made some cauliflower barbecue hot buffalo wings from chefcharitymorgan.com.
Yes.
Best chef ever. She actually is one of the Tennessee Titans' wife. I don't know nothing. I just know her, and I love her.
Yeah, she's dope. And it was really, really, really good. It was really good.
It was delicious.
So that's good. So we, if you guys are... we'll have the I guess the recipe at the bottom in the description, but you guys should try it. It's really good. If you're aspiring to become a vegan, or if you're a vegan, or you just want to throw it in there because you're a flexitarian, you should
just
try it.
Take out meat, a couple nights a week.
Don't tell them. They got to watch the episode before. Don't give them this flexitarian. You should know what it is.
Okay. Yep. Or watch episode 4 to be or not to be a flexitarian.
Yeah. So
anyway.
But yeah. So it was a good day. It was a good day.
It was
I think we summed up our day together because it was really nothing. We had Solomon. Solo is solo.
For 30 minutes out of every day. He is an angel the rest of the hours. But for 30 minutes, y'all, he has meltdowns. And it's not 30 minutes at like a time. He'll do like 5 minutes every hour or something like that. And I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? And it really makes me
It'll be small stuff.
Never want another child. So
what you wanted to
no, ain't nothing else.
people?
I'm just saying that's what it does to me. Yeah.
Well, thank God for grace.
You know what? Anyway, so now it's time for the
breaking the ice segment. So, what's up?
My question. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
So, what is something from the last decade, not just last year, the last decade, that influenced you?
The last decade that influenced me. 2009 to 2019, or?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So, like that decade, because 2020 just started. So.
Let's see. Well, I mean, to be honest, I think you were a major influencer of my decade. I only had 3 years to myself. People.
Is that fortunately or unfortunately?
I didn't say anything. I just said I have 3 years to myself, people. Okay? After we met in 2012. So 3 years to myself. So she was in my life majority of this decade, which is a great thing. I believe. You
had other booze.
I also believe that she was instrumental in who I became today. See y'all, side note, listen. Men, we just got to ignore some of the, don't worry about it. All right, so, yeah.
Get on my nerves.
So, yeah, you were very influential in my decade. You were inspiration to who I am today. Positive, and also, maybe some little negatives. Not a lot, but majority of positives.
He's just trying to get out. You see, he was like, just a little bit, not a lot.
What about you, lady?
Outside of my husband and son, of course, and the traumatic experiences of moving, my biggest influence was participating in Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University.
What's up, Uncle Dave?
Yes, Uncle Dave. Every day we trying to strive to be like you.
It's a struggle.
It is a struggle, but we're gonna be all right. It came from, it started when we were in Cincinnati, then we did it also again in Atlanta. Did Financial Peace University. We actually finished it in Atlanta, but it was just it's a change of mindset that we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably my biggest one, because it's like, I don't want to I'm not, and it tells you, most people who are millionaires, they work hard for it. They don't just get it from like inheritance or anything like that. And I'm not looking for that to happen to me. I don't have, wealthy parents or elderly, in my family that, is just going to drop on me. So I'm looking to start it for our son. We are looking to start that for our son.
Okay, so that was the influence. Learning about finances.
Yeah, learning about finances and learning how to be debt free, and just if we ain't got the money, we ain't got it.
Yeah,
it ain't tricking if you got it, and we don't.
Hey. But that's awesome. That's cool. That was a good breaking ice. A little smooth, real quick one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Yeah, and everybody out there, we'll present this question as well for everybody. We want to know, your last decade, what influenced you the most?
Yeah.
And then the next decade, what do you plan on accomplishing, or
have a
goals
plan
that you have?
But always make room for God's plans.
Yes, because if you don't make room for God's plans and you just plan, you'll be planning, then God would wholly divine come through and change your whole entire life.
Change it. Yeah.
So make sure y'all open for that.
Thank you, Pastor, for that one.
And so, but yeah, I'll be trying to listen, y'all. I'm trying to help her out.
I was just going to say thank you. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. So
this episode is called The F Word.
Ooh.
That was.
You gonna cuss or something, cuz? Just say what you gotta say, cuz.
Family.
The family edition.
Yes, the family edition. And so
I have a question for you.
Yes.
I have a question. I'm gonna set this up for you though. Okay. Being that this is the episode is called the F Word, and it's the family edition, as we said. I just had a question. I wanted to kind of understand some things. Okay. Being that we are in the new year, and coming from the decade, looking back at the decade, I think one of the things that was missing or non-existent was family. And I'm not talking about what you call family that's like close, like brothers and sisters.
I don't know, like your inner circle. I don't know.
Well, what is it? Not your immediate, not your immediate family, but like family outside of that. I felt that they were. It seems like lately it's been non-existent.
They are for us.
And I mean, for a lot of people, I mean, it's not just us.
Yeah.
A lot of people, their family now, it's a lot of friend family, family who are friends, and so, but like, I was thinking nostalgia. I was thinking back on some of the things from before, from the past decade, not this decade, but the decade before, and how family was, really important to us. So what made you love family? Starting off, what made you love family? What was the thing that'd be like, oh my God, I love family?
So I was the baby in the family. So for me, I didn't really look for anything. I had my grandfather, I had my mom's grandfather, I had my mom's mom, my mom's father, my mom's mother, my mom's immediate family, so like her brothers and sisters, and then I had two cousins that we were raised with, and then a sister. So for me, it was just like always spending time with them. a couple of my aunts and uncles, they moved away, but they still, you know, would come in for the holidays and things like that, because they were like, it wasn't that long of a drive, maybe 4 hours max for them. And so it was just that love that I used to feel with being around them, and they're all different. And that's what I love about it. Like, they all, like, you would look at them like, I guess y'all siblings, but you do this, and this, you do it, you know. They're all very different. But that was probably like what made me love family. So what made you love family?
Oh, that's all.
Yeah. I mean, that's what made me fall in love with it, because
your grandmother was your grandpa.
I mean, them being together for me was influential. But it was also because they were together that the family used to come together. But you know,
that was so that made you love the family.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. What made me love family?
And if that's wait, or are we talking about all of them? Because it was my grandmother on my dad's side.
Well, I'm just talking about period. Like, what made you love family? What was some of the memories that how, you know, family kind of inspired you, or what it used to be? Then some of the nostalgic feelings and some of the things that you know was like, oh man, I love my family.
I mean, so I guess it was that, just like family events. So, you know, when you go out to eat, or when you meet up with your family or cousins or whatever that you almost never see, like, it's that was very significant for me. Also, my dad, his mom passed away 2001 in October, and then but before she passed away, like, we used to always go over her house. Like, we were always over there. She was but she was I loved her too. And it was just nice to be able to go over there when there were family events. And that wasn't blood family for me, but that was like, but they still, I was considered family. And so that was also like a really significant thing. Yeah.
I think for me, looking back, I love my family. I loved my family for a long time. And I still love my family.
He did.
But I'm saying this in the sense of, when I think back on some of the great things that we used to do as a family, you know, we used to have family meetings.
I've never heard of this until I met him. I was like, what is a family meeting?
So, like, every other Saturday, or maybe once, I think, maybe I got it wrong, but I believe that either once or twice a month, or once a month, my family would come together and they just talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing up and coming as a family. Some of the you know, issues we're kind of, you know, we dealt with issues at that time. It was just great. Like, even it was one time we all went to one of my aunt's house, and literally we were there because two people had an issue. They were arguing and, you know, cussing and everything like that. But when they left the house, the issue was dissolved. You know what I'm saying? I think that was, when I saw that, I was like, man, I love my family. Like, you know, and then the volleyball games, you know, July 4th, we knew we was getting with the family. Memorial Day, Labor Day, all the holidays, we had places to go as a family. And so those were the things that I look back on that was just awesome. And then we went to Gatlinburg for a family trip, and it was the best trip ever. All the ladies in the family was cooking, which was great. They all came together and just made a bomb meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. It was really, really awesome. You know, that's how I remember family used to be. I thought this was family. We had family prayer every Sunday after church.
Your family's not usual.
But it's so crazy.
Very unusual.
But it was so crazy because people at the church would be like, your family do like prayers?
Yeah.
And they used to be, we'd be like, yeah. They be like, dang, can I come? You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be a whole little mini service. You had preachers and everything. So that was the thing that made me love family. And then that's how family used to be. And I guess the main question is, who killed the family? What the hell happened after that? Really, like, what the hell happened? Who killed the family? What happened?
I know for both of us, the matriarchs of the family passed away.
That was huge.
It was
That was
huge.
I believe that they carried something. They are the ones that carried that family gene over the years. And them, the way they did family, it just, once they died, and I think a lot of people can attest to this. Once your Mimi died, or your mama died, or
Grandma,
the big mama dies,
yeah.
there's so much of the glue that's holding the family together that once they die, everybody just dispersed. Like people, just stop talking to each other, and relationships are literally held because of grandma.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
matriarch's death was huge. I believe was a huge reason why a lot of families, are plummeting. Another thing is divorce.
Yeah, my grandparents divorced. I think they were married for about like 38 years, and their divorce was on my 13th birthday. So like that was just, for me, even them going through the process, it was traumatic for me because they have 5 children, and children want to pick sides, and it's like I was just like, what is going on?
What made it so detrimental for you? Like outside of the kids, for you, what was the thing that made it like hurtful for you?
So my grandparents like definitely took a role into raising. I think all of the grandkids. I know for me also, like they just took a hand in it. So it's like them, them divorcing. It was just like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like my second home isn't there anymore. My grandparents aren't together anymore. Where do I go? What do I do? And so for my grandmother, she moved out of the city. My grandfather stayed, and so that's actually where I started growing to, not that I didn't love him more, but just building that relationship. Like I miss my granddad a lot, so because he passed away. So but yeah, that's probably it for me.
Being that, cause I want to tap into this a little bit. This is good. So, being that, do you believe that your life changed once the divorce happened? Because you said that was your second home. So,
Right, yeah.
so once that second home was gone, did you feel like there was a void that was there, and you was trying to look for for that same feeling that you got from the home? And
Yeah, and I the void, or it happened before the divorce was official.
Okay.
And that was just because when they were going through that process, it was just a lot going on. Like that was when I found out that my grandfather had 2 other kids outside of on my grandmother. That was when I found out my grandma, basically had found somebody that loved her. How she wanted to be loved.
And this is all at 12. You found this out at 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just a lot going on. And then my mom was upset because my grandmother had found somebody. But then it was also like, but you don't want grandma to not be unhappy.
Yeah, but how did you feel about all this?
It was just traumatic because I had to see everything happen. Like it kind of that's because of that, I think that's what really took away my whole family idea. My idea of family, it was just like, okay. And then of course when it was happening, nothing was going on. Like nothing as far as family anyway was really going on. Yeah, that's when it stopped for the most part. And my girl, like I said, and then my grandmother moved out of state. So before she moved, they kept it going with my grandfather, but then that's also when my grandfather got really sick. So it was just like,
so family for you died the day that your grandparents got a divorce,
or said they were going to get divorced.
Well,
yeah,
you don't talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I think for me,
or that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Divorce. I mean, my mom got married and had a divorce that I believe that affected the probably my siblings more than it affected me. And looking back on it, I was, after the divorce, I became, the second, I guess, leader, or not, I guess, the father in the house once once the divorce happened.
How old were you when that happened?
When they got a divorce in 2001, I believe. So 11, around 11.
11. Okay.
Yeah,
around 89.
that time.
11, 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So during that time, that was like, I took over. Like, I found out how to cook. I was the one that was leading my siblings, because I wanted to help my mom. She was, literally at that time she was a single mom, had 4 kids. So, I believe that was it could have been bad, but I thank God, because it kind of turned around. It still was like an asterisk in our family because of the brokenness. Because I feel like we don't really keen in on that brokenness. We just kind of like, we're broken and we leave it broke, and we try to move on instead of handling the issue at hand. And that can be something that you hold on to for years, and you like, man, I still wonder why I treat such and such like this, or I still wonder why every time they come around I don't feel a certain type of way when they come around. It's because you're still broken, and you don't, but you subconsciously haven't dealt with it. And so I think that's the issue. I think even with my siblings now, we've been talking lately, and there's some things that we want to talk about, like therapy, because there's some things that we swept under the rug that we really didn't talk about that was effective, especially them. So divorce was definitely key in the downfall of the family. So this is mine. This next one, and it's probably gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way, and that's mainly our parents. I feel like, and I've always felt this way, I feel like the generation above us, so that means our parents, I feel like they dropped the ball of what the matriarchs was trying to do. What the matriarchs brought into, that family aspect, that we together and everything like that. Once they brought that to their kids, I feel like their kids, I don't know what happened. I'm not going to speculate, but I feel like the ball was dropped. And in my family at first they were picking it up, and then all of a sudden it just fell. And like, even now, like, I can walk past a cousin. Let's use both examples. I can walk past a cousin that I know, and without saying a word to them or them saying a word to me, or I can walk past a cousin that I don't know, that I don't even know they're my cousin, but they're first cousins. And I believe that's because of the ball that was dropped. I believe that's because of the issues. It's a lot of people in my family that has issues based off their parents' issues with each other.
Yeah.
And so because of my mother had an issue with Trump, and we broke, and now it's just brokenness all over, and it's sad. It's really sad that it's like that. And one of the things I pray, that I say, God, there's something, it's, right now I feel like there's no remedy. I honestly feel like, you always say, well, what's the positive? How can we fix this? I actually do not know, what the remedy, like right now, doesn't look good as how can we fix the family? Because I feel like that, and one of the things, and I'm gonna tag this in real quick, is I feel like the enemy attacked the family because he knew the power that the family can be together. And so he started with the family, and it succeeded. It's evident that it succeeded, and that's the thing that is scary, because it's like, if he succeeded with that, what else is he trying to pinpoint and attack? So that was one of the downfalls, I believe, that the family has encountered. The next one is no relationship.
Yeah, and that kind of sticks with me. Like, I don't know. I am not kidding you guys. 3 or 4 days ago, I spoke with my sister, and she's like, yeah, we got a cousin that does little workout stuff for kids. I said, who? Yeah, this person. Who is that? Yeah, this one is somebody from grandma's side. Who are you talking about? Don't know who she is whatsoever. And that's like heartbreaking. She's clearly a blood cousin if she's from my grandmother. And I'm like, how do I not know who this person is? Yeah. And that's sad, because she clearly lived in a city that I was raised in.
And you never
knew her. To me. And like, so in this other family, I have family in Chicago that I don't know. I have family in Atlanta who I've seen but don't know.
Yeah.
I have family in Cincinnati who I don't know. I'm like, I have family. I've literally lived in these cities, or not. I have lived in Chicago, but lived in cities, and I don't even know who my family is.
I think what was so,
I got family in Alabama too.
What was so crazy, and I think I went with you when we went. It was right before our reception, and we went to your family reunion at the park, and literally everybody had the same last name that she had, but nobody knew
anybody.
That was so crazy to me. Like it's literally the people that knew each other stayed on this side, and people that didn't. I was like, y'all don't know he's a walker too. No, I don't know. He was like, yeah, I don't know him.
And that's sad. And it was at a family reunion where you supposed to be like, okay, so who are you?
But it's like they're first cousins though. Like it's not like they're like distant cousins. 'Cause I know at some family reunions you go to, you like, oh, I didn't know you was my cousin. But this is like close.
Yeah, ain't that it's sad, and it's something I never wanted, but it's
Why do you think it was so? Because you mentioned the divorce, but was there something else that divided the family? Like, because you said you never knew them, so even before.
So yeah, but that's stuff that I don't know. That's also family secrets. I don't. I have so many family secrets. Like, I know that I have family secrets, the stuff that I don't know, but I also know, like, I'm never gonna find out because nobody has the courage to even let it out, so that like.
So healing can happen.
Yeah, the healing. You got to put it out there.
I think somebody said that they would, and it kind of bothered me. I believe, well, somebody said that when it comes to family, you leave family issues, in the family. You don't really tell everybody, what happened in the family. I understand that to an extent. When you're healing and your heart is broken and you need to talk about it.
Yeah.
I say talk about it. Release it. It's probably needed. It's so many things, so many secrets. And I said this yesterday on our page. I said, some of this is just a miscommunication. Some of it is just not talking, communication piece. It's just a lot of stuff that can probably be fixed. But people's pride and people's egos are carrying along a grudge that is going to go into their grave.
Yeah, which is crazy. That's sad. It's like the least you could do, especially for like younger generations. So for Solomon, I want him to be able to know what he's gonna have to come back, because the world is gonna come in. Enemy's gonna come at him like crazy with all the generational curses or things that have happened in our family. And it's like, okay, I don't even know what's going on. I do know that the system is gonna be after him, one, because he's black, and then two, because of his bloodline. But I'm like, there is a way for you to break it, and there's if you don't tell me, like, thankfully I know a little bit, so I know, okay, Solomon, if if you're upset or something, we're gonna have to like figure out a way for you to get it out, so that you don't turn it into something that is just wrong. You know what I mean?
Because I think back in the day, and I understand it from our parents' standpoint. If you express how you felt, it was always a disrespect. So I'm not saying that everything that the matriarchs did was great, because some of it wasn't disrespect. They just want to express themselves. But as a kid, you don't express yourself. You don't have a space to express yourself because you're a kid. But I think,
but that's also why relationships don't happen.
Exactly,
and relationships can't be built.
And I think that's one, like you said, that's one thing we're trying to do with Solomon. We're gonna let him speak, but respectfully. Like, we're gonna have ain't gonna be disrespect, but at the same time, we're gonna let him have
his space,
his space to express himself.
Yeah.
That is key. I wish I had opportunities to express myself and how I felt and things like that growing up. I feel like that's key to growth, and understanding who we are as people. So, I mean, and that's great, kind of like a great segue from the Segue Masters. Great segue into, some of our family goals that we're trying to accomplish as well. So those are, and what we just named were just, a few of them. I know there are more. And we're going to open this discussion for everyone out there, to really, let us know, how you
Yeah.
feel in your situations, and then maybe we can come back on a live or something and really talk about it and really get, your live feedback from the family and what happened to it. I think that would be an awesome forum,
Yeah.
to really understand what really happened to family from somebody else's standpoint. But those things that we name, we're trying to make sure that those things do not become part of our family.
Definitely.
We want to make sure that we build an environment that, we're breaking family curses.
Yeah.
So one of the family curses, of course, we want to break is successful marriages.
Yeah. That's the key for us.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be harder for me on my end just because divorce was very frequent.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's not that we don't have one of those marriages where the word divorce doesn't exist, and I don't even know if that would even be possible. But it's all a mentality, right? That we just have to make sure that is not what we're thinking about. And it's sometimes it even becomes hard for me because my mom, sometimes in the back of my head, all I hear is my mom, like, you got to have a man who can do way more for you and take care of you and whatever, blah, blah. And it's just like, sometimes if I look at my life, it's like, dang, it's not necessarily what I thought it was going to be, but it's not that I'm not happy because I'm very loved and that's all I really need. My husband is very attentive to me. If I'm not feeling good, he's like, okay, go sit down. He'll give me a food, give me a plate. I'll get up to you. Sit down. Go do something.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then my son, because of his dad, our son is just like, and just so you know, we do this my son, our son thing. It's your son. So I know that may sound weird, but anyway, he does the same thing. He's literally like, mommy, you want to drink? Here's your water. You want to take your plate? Okay. You want to put it in the sink? Okay. And he's very attentive to me. And I think that's because of his dad.
And probably, I think he's took it a step further beyond me because I never really give Tia her, because she's type 1 diabetic.
Yeah. He won't give me my shots. He is over there. Like,
Solomon is like.
He want his finger pricked. He trying to give me my insulin and everything.
And the thing about it is, if you watch his face, he's so serious. Like, this is what he's supposed to be doing. Like, he just be like,
I love it. I'm just like,
and
my
he'll
baby's
walk
okay.
away, and like nothing even happened.
That's what they saw. Like in the Chinese culture, I just learned in the Chinese culture, apparently the sons are the ones who take care of the parents. And I'm sitting there looking at our baby, like, man, he gonna take care of his mommy.
Oh, he don't play about that stuff. And like he said, it's like it's who he is now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
so back in the generation, so breaking the family curses that we have on our family.
So number 1 was divorce.
Yeah.
Number 2 is
I think it's just also lifestyles, like putting him in environments where he can have a better lifestyle, a better chance to choose the right life for himself. Also, like
would that be a family goal though?
I mean, that is a family. So I wasn't in, I think for both of, well, I guess for you, because you were always in church, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah.
So I'm saying this in the sense of like putting him, so actively engaging him and giving him that stimulation so that it doesn't turn to something else. That's what I mean. And I know that I didn't have that. Even though my mom did ask me what I wanted, but it was like, I remember, I think I said this before, a story on something, I was supposed to be going somewhere and my mom didn't come, so it kind of traumatized me. So I stopped wanting to do things. I believe that had a sense of it. And then when I would try to do things, I could never succeed.
Okay.
And with my husband, he would be able to do things, but his, like when he was younger, it was very strict. So we were going to be, attentive and we're going to discipline our son, but it's like, no, you still need these things in order to make you become a better person or help you to become a better person. So
that's actually really great. So we got divorce, we got putting Solomon or in our family in better positions, like from I guess getting closer to God, because of course you put God first, and your family is going to be be awesome. A-okay. One of the things, bringing back what the matriarchs was trying to pass the baton to our parents to do.
Yeah, so that's like restoring the family, right? Yeah. We have this idea that we're speaking it. We don't know how it's gonna happen. We don't know when. We don't know anything, y'all. We still got student loans.
Yeah.
But we want to be able to have a house where we can have family reunions, like just bring our family there and just have everybody have fun. And it's and it can be, I don't even care if it's like different sides or everybody in one thing. I don't care. I'm like, just everybody needs to come together.
We want to have that we going to Tia and them house for, like, it's almost like in stone. Every year,
or even every other year if that's what we need. But because we live in Dallas, so it's like, and we don't know if we don't know, but it's like just wherever we're gonna be living, we know that we're not gonna be living. We don't believe that we're gonna be living in the city of Cincinnati, and that's because that's typically where everything is. So, and
it's so crazy that we're restoring the family as well. The reason why we are the way we are when it comes to family, where we're open and we're trying to, be inclusive to everyone, is I think we've dealt with family who weren't. They literally get to the point, and family has dealt with this, where they'll get to the point where it's them and theirs. Like, we're just going to work. I'm just focusing on my siblings and my son and my wife, and that's it. And that's where the family, kind of died to me. So one of the things that we want to do is restore that. Like, we don't want that anymore. Like, we want, like, I love the aunt that saved our marriage. She's one of the people. Like, the door's open. Just come through. That is lovely.
You have no clue, right? That I talk about family. They just got a new hat. Like, I've been to family, like blood family houses, where they like, nah, don't go look. I don't want you all in my house like that or whatever.
Yeah.
She literally, go look around. I don't care. I was like, you sure? Yeah. She looked at me like, girl, if you don't go,
right.
Go look.
And the thing about it is, when we went to see them, they didn't know we was coming. So
she had a feeling.
Yeah, of course she did. But we, so in not knowing, she didn't. We were planning to spend a night. Mm-hmm. And some people we can't even do that to. Where you got to say, okay, we're spending the night. So we want to be able to be that type of family, because people need to feel comfortable. Like going, like, I like when people go to somebody's house and they're so comfortable they don't want to leave. Like, I love that feeling. I know Tia loves that feeling. So we want to become that. So that's one of the things that we're trying to build. And she said, I don't know how we're going to build this, but it's going to happen because we want it. And the God that I serve told me that if I delight myself in him, he would give me the desires of my heart. If I seek him first, the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, he'll add these things unto me.
And that's also where we are working on that also, because God has gotten a little life. Started weighing more in our lives in God, and we literally, I don't know how it came up with a conversation. I'm like, Brandon, we got to work on this, because we can't, especially trying to raise Solomon to be the person that we know that he is going to be. We need to do it.
Yeah, so God has to be the focus.
Hold us accountable.
Yeah, for real, seriously. We really want that. Like, it's like, and Peter said it. Paul said it. When you get married, like, it's just all your focus changes, but we have to find a balance. We have to plan. Don't plan like a fool in 2020. Plan smart, and like we said earlier, leave space for God and your family. And so then and your family be great. So that is the end of the F word part 1.
It is.
Yes. So
time for our next segment.
Wait. You're so quick.
Oh, sorry.
Relax.
Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the Escape Beach. Just kicking. Just kicking.
It is a mic.
Go ahead.
But we appreciate you guys coming in and listening to us on this. And like I said, I think it would be great for us to really do a forum, like just go live and really talk about this. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to try to do that soon. Kind of engage with you guys. And if you have any ideas or anything, come on to the live and tell us what you think, that, what it destroyed your family. And then let's be proactive and think of ways to restore it at the same time. So our next segment is called
That's what you wanted to say?
Lay.
Sock you. Oh, gosh.
So you go first.
Go first.
I always go first on these on latelys.
You do always go first. Okay.
You go first on lately.
So my lately is Jessica Reedy Bitter. That is better. Why do I keep?
Are you bitter?
I might be bitter. No, yeah, Jessica Reedy Better. This is a song that came out a while ago.
Yeah,
I don't even.
I love
but
this
it's
song.
such a.
I think the first time I heard this song was my good friend Chuck over up in Detroit. He posted something, and I was like, "This is a really good song."
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
this
that's
song.
what got him on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so thanks. Are you supposed to be saying names?
I'm not, but some names I'll say. I get people. I get shout out.
Okay, thanks,
Shout out.
Chuck.
Shout out. You know.
All right.
And then okay, so she has this song up here, but I'm not. That's not the one I want to do today. My lately goes to a very special lady named Traci Chapman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Traci Chapman. My dad, got me on this song because it's what he used to play riding in the car. But one of the songs that really like just struck me was what was it called? Is it on there?
It's on
Well, slide it down.
No,
Or if you got it.
It's not. Ugh.
Real quick. While she pulls that up, like when I tell you this song, I never knew what it meant until I got older. But the song is called "Behind the Wall." And it talks, and as I was younger, I didn't know, I just liked how she was singing it. First of all, when she sings, she sounds like a man. And so I thought it was a man at first, and my dad was like, nah, that's a woman. That's
Her
not a woman.
her
It's not a
voice,
woman.
like it has her vocal tone. She's a tenor, right?
She's a tenor for real. But when I continued listening to the song, I was like, oh, this is an awesome song. I didn't know until I got older what the song really meant. It was a song about domestic violence, and it was like one of the most powerful songs, really. You know, because it talked about how domestic violence happens all the time, and you know the police really don't really care about it. You know, or if they do care about it, it's always one side. It was strong. It was powerful. So if you get a chance, go check that song out. It's by Traci Chapman, and it's called "Behind the Wall." I think that's a really dope song. So shout out to our listeners out there. Shout out to our YouTube listeners. I'm just shouting them out.
Okay.
Shout out to our people listening to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We want to thank you guys. Everybody that's in our podcast, the podcast group that we're in, we thank you as well.
Yeah.
We want to connect with everybody. If you can, Tia, let the people know.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. We missing something.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So also shout out to 316 Collection.
Yo, I'm so sorry.
That's what I was
So let me
trying
do
to hit
this.
you
Let me do this. I got to stand up because Tia wants me to model.
So we actually, y'all, we went to the Galleria in Dallas, and because I wanted to get out the house. I was like, we need to get out the house and we needed shirts. And so we went to the Galleria, and there's a store called 316 Collection or 316 there. All God stuff. I'm like, who is this dude? I don't know who. I'm trying to find his name. But that's his store, and the store is 316 Collection. And so he don't have his name on here, but his story was like just how he had 38 cents to his name, and he was like, I'm just going to open this store. So really, I was overwhelmed by all the stuff that was in there.
So this is my shirt from there. We really like this shirt. So this is, of course, 316. If you don't know what, let me get it.
Jalen LeGrand.
Jalen LeGrand. Sorry, guys.
His name. You had to find
I'm
it.
not even in the mic.
He's not in the mic. But
So this shirt, of course, I'm gonna get there. So this is 316. If you don't know the verse, 316 says, "I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me." And so this, of course, this is the thorns from Jesus, but the back is what really kind of sold me.
yeah,
Yeah. So when
it's
I saw that, I was
awesome.
like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta get this." And so so Tia's shirt.
Yeah, and my shirt just has a whole bunch of motivational sentences on there for women, and so she is strengthened by God. She is created by God. I can't even read them all
Strength
right
and
now.
dignity.
Yeah.
She walks with strength and dignity. It's just great.
It's-
More than
yeah.
rubies. It's just words of affirmation.
Yeah, for
on
when
her shirt.
I don't like pink, y'all.
She doesn't.
I don't, but I was like, I
The shirt
gotta
was
have this
awesome.
shirt, so I'm
Yeah,
just
so
gonna get it.
we want to
and
shout them
accept
out,
that I
and
look pink.
we'll put their link to the website there. We want to
Yes.
and like I said, that was a treasure to kind of come upon that.
It really was. My husband, we getting it.
It's some jackets in there. Wait till y'all see the website, and you'll probably see some stuff, in the animation, but it's a really good store. So check that out. Really Tia, so now I can say, go ahead and tell them where they can find us out at.
Alrighty, y'all. You can, I was like, what? So these are our outlets on Instagram at the Heart Talk Podcast, Facebook at the Heart Talk Podcast, Twitter at the Heart Talkers, and you can look us up on YouTube. You would look us up, the Heart Talk Podcast, but you would only see our logo with the Heart Talk. That is our page.
Yes.
And then you can email us, thehearttalkpodcast@gmail.com. And we are on these platforms as simply the Heart Talk. These are podcast platforms. Mm-hmm. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, Deezer, Spotify, and Stitcher.
Yes.
So we're on all of those as the Heart Talk. And we're also trying to get on Pandora.
Yes,
also.
we're waiting right now for Pandora to give us some feedback. Some feedback
yes,
to let us know we're on there. So listen, we're everywhere. Like if you want to listen to us any platform that we are there. So go check us out. We appreciate you being here for part 1. Please come back and check out part 2 because part 2 is going to be so awesome. It's the F word part 2. So again, thank you for coming in and listening to us and watching us.
Love you guys.
And we hear you.
We see you.
And we thank you.
And until the next Heart Talk.
Peace.
Bye.